Right, okay. So I've gone on and on about antiquity and Byzantine Ottoman periods of Greek history, but to truly understand the Heptapyrgion, we need to investigate the context of Greece's most recent darkest chapter. The regime of colonels, otherwise known as the Greek Junta, begins in April 21st, 1967, during the height of the Cold War. Just a few days before the elections, right-wing army officers staged a coup d'etat in Athens, seizing power and ending a fragile democracy yet again in its Athenian motherland. The coup perpetrators were Brigadier Stylianos Patakos and Colonels Nikolaos Makaresos and Georgios Papadopoulos, hence the name Rule of Three Generals. They swiftly establish military dictatorship, installing Papadopoulos as the dictator, self-proclaimed savior of the country from the direction of communism. What followed was a wave of state terror. Around 10,000 individuals are immediately arrested or exiled. Most are popular leftists, but also anyone who dares to criticize the new government. The constitution is suspended. Civil rights to free speech or assembly verboten, and draconian censorship is imposed on the media. Greece became a closed society, ruled by fear and suspicion. And unfortunately, it's our timeline's time in this multiverse where the Heptapyrgion is reaching its peak activity. If somebody disappears, they may have been held here, and their cries could be heard from the population of Thessaloniki, coming from a fortress at the top of the hill. A testament of state-sponsored imprisonment, torture, and murder. Today, our last Greece adventure will be to explore the Heptapyrgion.
The next day.
Good morning from Thessaloniki, and I'm making my way to the north end of the city this time. Just round the corner from my hostel, there are more ruins. If I had only walked a few meters north, I could have found these ruins. I think I've just ended up in an Orthodox congregation. Solar flare! It's time to go pray to the Lord. Rats, I forgot my Trinity candles. Come on, gotta go back. Okay, I've walked up some higher elevation to get to the cool area where I was expecting a view, but there's even more high elevation. My legs are knackered from that climb of Meteora, Mount Olympus as well. That I'm getting muscle memory of pain. My pain is far greater than yours. We're gonna trudge on through that anyway. No pain, no gain, right? Here we go. Oh, bloody hell. I can feel it. I can feel it, Mr. Krabs.
While the morning is young and the sunlight is abundant, I walked another agonizing uphill battle to reach the highland neighborhoods of Thessaloniki.
I need to consolidate the map soon, because I don't even know if I'm going the right way. But I want to take you guys somewhere special. May Talos watch your back. Skyrim belongs to the Nords.
On my journey, I passed by what looks like another Byzantine chapel. Some relics of the past are hidden among the charming high-rise flats and the little family businesses here and there which shutter their doors to the tax collector. But we're racing against the clock for the bus to Bulgaria. Ghost of a chance I leave here without investigating one more paranormal score.
I believe I haven't been showing you guys enough spooky stuff. After all, it is October and it is the season. It's spooky season. It's time for spooky, scary skeletons. They do reel. These old walls indicate the higher levels of the city. I found a good window right here. And a cat over there. And a cool, part demolished building over here. How do you guys think this building came down? Post in the comments. Me, as I would say, probably an earthquake, which may have caused a fire or some other conundrum. Happy Halloween from Thessaloniki. And I need to start by apologizing to you guys because it's October, it is the spooky season, and I haven't been showing you guys enough haunted places. So I want to rectify that right now. I think it's time we mingle with some spooky, scary skeletons. Hopefully we can find some spooky dooky ghosts. So enjoy this view right behind me of Thessaloniki, because it's not going to last. what we're interested in are these walls. These Byzantine walls, which connect straight to the very haunted building of the Hepta-pyr-gion. We're sure to find some ghosts in there. Let's go. And of course, if you do admire the view, well then I don't want to deprive you of that. So check it out. You can see the beautiful landscape of Thessaloniki with its gorgeous coastline. And of course, the Byzantium walls going straight down. These walls obviously built to deter invasions from Ottomans or any other external forces. Morning.
Where are you from?
Anglais, England.
England?
Yeah.
I'm from America.
Oh, from America?
I was born here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's an uphill battle from here. We're up the steps to the Hepta-pyr-gion. Let's go. Oh, bloody hell. My legs are killing me. You can see the top of the walls. Just there. There's a tower. One of the towers.
Atop the highlands of Thessaloniki, this dark fortress shadows the city with a macabre past. Locals claim this fortress of evil is the most haunted spot in the city. Given the history, it was converted from a defensive fortress into a prison fortress. And with grim memories from inmates and locals,
they tortured me about day after day.
You will see why a lich could otherwise live here.
Now, the Heptapyrgion is an old medieval era construction from the Byzantium Empire. As we know, the Eastern Roman Empire, which had divorced itself from the West, is the true successor of Rome. So like and subscribe to see more East Roman ruins. Wow. Now right where I am is the Trigonion Tower, which is the very start of the chain of towers from the Heptapyrgion, which extends out here and of course goes all the way down to where you see those walls and the walls from where we saw earlier extending out into the city. And you can see the white tower of Thessaloniki there. That is where the walls would extend to, right to the coastline. Wow, she's beautiful. What a monument to Byzantium civilization. Also to Ottoman. The history has become quite interlinked in the later periods. And we are going around the tower now. I wish I could tell you more about the castles of Byzantium architect. I'm far more knowledgeable on Western style of castles, but hopefully we can learn something or two along the way. Here would have been the old gate, which the warriors, soldiers would go through. The walls extend out to the cylinder-shaped tower we saw earlier. But on the other side, these walls would go outward straight to the Heptapyrgion. As you can see in the distance over there, my ghost sensors, they're pointing this way, right in the direction of the Heptapyrgion.
My crew's pointing over there now. Oh, let's follow that clue.
Spirits, hear me. Spirits, speak to me.
Return this land, or suffer my curse.
I've done it. I have a raging clue. I know where they are. My clue. It's pointing over this way. Come on, let's go. We've got to get around this wall. Looks like I've got to scale it. It's ghost hunting time. Guys, I am so startled right now. I was just here, hanging out in my ghost hunting tower, you know, as you do. And then, to my surprise, this conjuration of the devil spawned. Look! A bus stop with no people and no advertising board. This can only be the work of paranormal activity. Come on, my raging clue, it's pointing over that way. Oh shit, I'm not gonna jump. No, I'm not jumping down that one. Come on, my raging clue is pointing over that way. Let's go. Oh. Spooky bus stop. Follow the walls. The walls are the clues. Clearly, the ghost obviously came. You can see the foundations of the building, but no building. I think we're getting closer. Our second paranormal activity. Look! It's a hole. What has that got to do with paranormal stuff, you might ask? Come on, let's go. My clue's pointing over this way. Oh shit. It is the Heptapyrgion. Good day from the Heptapyrgion. And you can see right behind me the walls. We've reached the top. I'll take you guys round. We'll go round. Oh, I'm surrounded by butterflies here. That's pretty awesome. Heptapyrgion translates to 7 towers. Although this place can be a bit misleading due to the fact that there are actually 10 towers attached. The reason why I say the Heptapyrgion is haunted was because, as well I've explained, this was once a Byzantium fortress. After the Ottomans had come and occupied the Byzantium lands, it was transformed to their fortress, which they renamed to Yedikul, which is a similar name to the fortress that they adopted in Constantinople. And for a while, this fortress served as an Ottoman base, housing some of the military leaders and soldiers. But then, once again, the fortress was transformed into a prison. Yeah. Home to prisoners and dissidents of those who opposed the Ottoman rule. And eventually, after the Greek Junta took over and you had the rule of the 3 generals, the generals would keep this place as a prison. Hence why you could probably see all of the unfriendly and unwelcoming barbed wire around the place. The reason why it's haunted is because many people had died, unfortunately, passed away in the very prison fortress, which you see here. Sad times, from the rule of the Ottomans to the rule of the 3 generals in the fascist military junta. Those who opposed their views, their way of life and their laws would ultimately end up here, imprisoned. I hear the ghosts. It sounds like they're cutting grass. I think the ghosts are cutting grass in there. Happy Halloween from the Heptapyrgion. Byzantium fortress turned into an Ottoman fortress, then turned into a prison by the Ottomans and kept as a prison by the Greek fascists. Here we have a prisoner cat. Hello. Don't worry, buddy. I'm gonna get you out of here, okay? Come on. You wanna come with me? You wanna run away to Mexico with me? I think he knows the way to the ghost. Let's follow this cat. Meow. What is meow? Is that ghost too spooky for me? So you can probably tell this place was a prison, hence why the unwelcoming bars right here. And the prison-like doors. Wow. I know this place was a prison at one point, and you'll probably find markings on the walls that's pretty evident. Although, when I did first come in here, I was actually pretty shook, because I thought that marking over there on that wall was like an actual ghost-like figure, or at least a humanoid figure. This would have been the head and the body down here. And obviously this cat has been following me throughout. Let's see if I can replicate them, the sort of marking there. So, if you had ever ticked off the rule of the Ottomans or the Greek fascist military junta, you would end up in here. And I'm sure these cells hosted many poor individuals who were cramped up. There's the hatch where you would open the top of the cell door and you could obviously feed them or communicate with the prisoners. It must have been a very sad existence. I imagine it would have been a dreadful time, and I'm sure many innocent folk would have ended up in these cells over here just for questioning the rule at the end of the day. So, apparently, people claim to still hear the sounds of screaming and moaning due to the torture which happened here. Who were the prisoners here? Probably the Janissaries, who revolted against the Sultan. Also political prisoners, anyone who even had a thread of socialist ideology, and even prisoners of war under the Nazi occupation. Oh my god, I thought that cat was gonna knock me in. Zoinks! Like, geez, Scoobs, I sure don't want to run into any ghosts. What do you say? This cat is just on me. Any ghosts? Nope. Nope. I have a good feeling about this one. Maybe there's ghosts in this one. Ghosts, are you in there? Hang on a minute. What's that? Massive gates. You can still see some of the old Byzantium markings. What's through here? Dead end. I imagine this way is also going to be a dead end too. Yep. An old guard tower. Oh yeah, look, you can see the old courtyards here. And they obviously would have separated the prisoners depending on what crimes they've committed or who they were. Here I am now in the old guard tower. I can't help but wonder what life would be like to be a prisoner held in this very prison fortress. And check it out, you can see down here the courtyard of where people would be sectioned. They'll probably be standing in rows and lines, categorized into different wards of the prison. Maybe this was their courtyard where they were forced to do laps around. Maybe some were even executed here. One thing's for sure, this is all the space that these prisoners and this warden would probably get. We are now entering the other courtyard area. No entrance, okay. So the church is off. I guess if you were a prisoner here, then maybe you were denied access to church. My ghost sensors are pointing that way. But here's a view of the left side. See a little exhibition of the column heads there. Yeah, my ghost sensors are definitely pointing this way. Check out this prison door. It's an exhibition. It's how the males would have lived. Sadly, I don't think there's much English translations. There's the blooming key. Alright guys, finally just get out of prison. I'm a free man now. So long, prison life. Hello, prison walls. It's one of the towers. You know what? Heptapyrgion means 7 towers. It means this place consisted of 7 towers. Although the name is very misleading, because there's actually 10 towers in the Heptapyrgion. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the crumble tower. The other towers extend all the way out in that chain block, I imagine. And here is the interior, the whole courtyard. It sure is a beautiful view, although one view which the prisoners of this prison complex could definitely not see. If you're a guard on one of the many guard towers, then you could see straight all out into yonder distance, Central Macedonia, to Northern Macedonia, out that way. Let's go around the towers and I'll take you for a view on the other side. And of course, here's another angle of the courtyard complex. Wow, it's a very cool looking Byzantium church over there. Byzantium. There's something about the East Roman Empire that sounds so cool. I love saying it. Byzantium, Byzantine. Over there was where I was acting like a wally, running around the walls. Acting like a wally? I meant definitely. I was professionally ghost hunting. I was doing my job, doing my duty. I'm a professional ghost hunter. I'm like Danny Phantom. You're kidding me. No. I wanted to show you guys the direction of Constantinople on the east side. Flippin' heck. This is the best it's gonna get, guys. You're not allowed on the eastern wing of the walls. There's still one more place to show you. Let's have a look at the interior of the guard tower. And this is the room of the final boss. The final boss where I fight the ghost. Oh my god, there he is now. Ah! Horror can come in many forms. And for the population of Greece, this fortress prison complex was definitely one of them. For those living in Greece under the Ottoman or the military Junta times, they weren't so lucky. And thus, many of the populace of Thessaloniki ended up here, right here, in the very prisons you see over there, staying in the very cells that we saw earlier. So just bear in mind, especially if you're one of my Western viewers, we're pretty lucky and fortunate to not face systems of arbitrary punishment where you can be very unfairly discriminated against and put into a prison complex without fair trial. I'm not saying our justice system is perfect, but the people of Greece probably thought themselves lucky too. Until one day that changed, and suddenly the screams and wails from the fortress returned. Undoubtedly, this prison would also be the home for many political prisoners too. Anyone who simply ticked off the Ottomans or the military junta would probably end up here. Ironically, I have been locked out of the cell, where incorrigible delinquents truly belong. Well, you guys may have been unfortunate enough to not see any ghosts. This place was a true place of nightmares for many of the Greek population living out in Thessaloniki, because With this prison fortress standing at the very top of the hill, I'm very certain you could still hear the screams and know that your loved ones were unfairly prosecuted and held captive in this very fortress here. So, while you can be resting assured that you would see no ghosts on camera today, this place remains very much a chilling tale for the Greek people of Thessaloniki.
The rule of colonels ended with widespread unpopularity and destabilization, mostly thanks to the sponsored coup in Cyprus, provoking a Turkish invasion. Also to the violent crackdown of a student protest, storming the Athens Polytechnic with tanks and guns. The colonels' hands were soaked with the blood of their own people. Democracy returned to Greece in 1974, where the Hepta-pyr-gion continues to function as a prison, however, no longer hosting exclusively political prisoners, and the use of torture, while we can't say ended for certain, did see a decline at the end of the Junta. But the damage had been done.
Emotional damage!
And the harsh conditions of the Hepta-pyr-gion could not fly in a European landscape which were now valuing human rights and a basic treatment for prisoners. And so, the prison doors locked permanently only in 1989. With sincere gratitude, I'd like to thank the true legends, the Archaeology Services and the Ministry of Culture for restoring, preserving and granting access to learn and document from this ominous site, which tells centuries of stories. If you would like to learn more about this general period of Greece, I've got you with some gems in the description below.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank my fellow cellmate and paranormal investigator, the Thessaloniki cat. Hey buddy. Thanks for joining me. Where you going? What, you see the ghost? Oh my god. It's a ghost cat. Na 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 na.